Today, I'm going to be covering one thing that will help you step into leadership and be more effective with it. I'm going to cover 3 bullet points up under that will be a little more tactical for you, so you'll just have some practical application walking away from the episode today. Welcome to the Daily Effort Podcast. My name is Sam. If it's your first time listening, welcome. If you've listened before, welcome back to the show. I always appreciate all of you taking time out of your day to listen. And the main purpose of this podcast is to help you lead yourself well so that you can then go out and lead the people around you and lead your team better so that you can help them level up and achieve that success that they want in their life, because that's the whole purpose of leadership. How can you replicate yourself and help other people get what they want in life? And I'm a firm believer that's why we're here. Now, what I'm going to be diving into today, I'm going to be covering one thing that will help you step into leadership and be more effective with it. I'm going to cover 3 bullet points up under that will be a little more tactical for you, so you'll just have some practical application walking away from the episode today. Now, if you're new to listening to the Daily Effort Podcast, I will be releasing an episode every single Monday at 5 a.m. Central Time. It will be on YouTube, Spotify, and also the Apple Podcast platform as well. And if you get value from it, all I ask is that you share the episode, share it on social media, text it over to a friend. Anything like that, I would greatly appreciate. And if you just get value from the episode, all I ask is that you drop a comment, like, subscribe. That would mean a whole lot to me. So then, I can continue to provide value to you and help you along your way. Now, diving into the episode today, when it comes to setting yourself up to be a great leader or working to become a great leader, it's something that's not going to happen overnight. And before I started leading a team, which I've been leading a team now for going on three or 4 years, and we have been doing well. There's obviously things that we can always improve on, and leadership is an ever-evolving skill. There's never going to be a time that you are perfect at it, but one of the things that has really set me up for success is just taking a look at things I've done in my life and applying it to the team. And I'm going to expand on that here in a second. But if you are wanting to set yourself up to be an effective leader, the number one thing that I always suggest, and this is something that I work to continue to do, and again, I am not perfect at it, but you got to lead yourself well first. You have to lead yourself. If you can lead yourself well, then that means you're probably going to be decent at leading other people. Now, I know there's a lot of nuances of this, but I'm going to dive into this a little bit. But if you can't lead yourself, then the chances are you're not going to be very effective with helping other people. And again, the whole purpose of leadership is to influence people, influence them in a direction that will help them get a little bit closer to the things that they actually want in life. Now, tactically, what that really looks like, and this is when I say lead yourself well, this is my first recommendation from a tactical standpoint that you can just walk away today and automatically apply. But if you're going to lead yourself well, the first thing you have to do, and this is my opinion, you need to lock in your fitness journey. It's like you need to lock in your physical fitness, because I'm not saying that if you're out of shape, you'll be ineffective as a leader, because I know there are people who have been good leaders who aren't in shape. And so I'm not saying that by any means, but what I am saying is there's a lot of things that you can learn just by taking care of your physical fitness and taking your own physical health seriously. And what I mean by that, I'm trying to make sure I have the mic flipped on, but what I mean by that is this. Number one, when it comes to a fitness journey, you're going to have to learn things. You're not going to know everything stepping into it. You might think you know everything, but you definitely don't know everything. And I can speak to that very directly because I haven't been in fitness a long time. And that's what I do for a career, is help people with fitness. And there are things that I continue to learn and I continue to get a little bit better at. And I can always improve on my fitness journey. There's never a time where there is an end point. When it comes to fitness, it is a journey, a lifelong journey. It's not a destination by any means. You can always get better with it. But when you step into a fitness journey, you're going to have to learn. And that applies to leadership very well, because if I look back on when I first started working out, I didn't know anything about nutrition. I didn't know what workout program to really go with. I didn't know anything. And I spent countless hours researching when it comes to workout programs. I tried so many different workout programs. And then also I tried a lot of different nutrition type things. I can remember even when I was trying to bulk and add on weight, I didn't understand calorie surplus, calorie deficit. And I just was going and hammering just Master Blast shakes from Sonic. Now, you might say, well, then you kind of understood you need to eat more food. Well, yeah, that is true, but I didn't understand the concept of a calorie surplus. So when it comes to that, I didn't know anything. So I really had to take time to learn. I had to do a lot of research, had to put in a lot of extra work, had to humble myself and ask a lot of questions to people and learn some things over time. And that will apply to leadership, because if you're thinking about what will make you a great leader, well, you always have to be constantly learning. You have to be developing new skills. If you don't have skills, that means you have to put in more time to actually get better at them. And then you have to be humble, because when you think of stepping into leadership, you're not going to know everything. You're going to have to admit at times when you're wrong or when you fell short, or you're going to have to take ownership. Whatever it is, that's going to have to happen. So you have to develop that character trait of being humble. And a fitness journey will help you with learning, staying humble. But then the third thing I'll say is it'll help you develop discipline. And the discipline and just consistency as a leader is something that's so important. People need to be able to show up and get the same you 9 times out of 10. We're human, we're not perfect, but they should be able to know what they're walking into. If it's just completely different all the time, well, then they're going to feel like they're walking on eggshells. You're not going to be too approachable. And that can lead to just not having a very effective team. So when it comes to that, you really have to take some time to develop that discipline muscle so that you can be more consistent. And those are just 3 things fitness has taught me: is learning, being humble, and develop discipline. Because discipline is something that I continue to work on developing every single day. It's not an on and off switch. You just don't wake up and you have discipline, or wake up some other day and then you don't have it whatsoever. Discipline is a moment by moment thing. You gain it by each moment throughout the days and weeks, or you lose it by each moment throughout the days and the weeks. So a lot of times you'll hear, discipline over motivation. And while it's a true thing, I don't necessarily like it, because it doesn't really explain how you build discipline. And discipline can take some time to develop. It just doesn't happen with a snap of the fingers. So that's my first thing that I have for y'all is if you're going to step into leadership, you have to lead yourself well. Something that can help you with leading yourself well is lock in your fitness journey. Second thing that I have for y'all is personal develop yourself. And what I mean by personal develop yourself, this is something that I've been working on for a while. And like for something I'll do every single day is I will take time to wake up and actually read a book. I will journal. I'll just have that desire to continue to learn. And that's the second time I've brought up learning. And it's just an important character quality or attribute. I'm not sure which one that is. I would say attribute of being a leader is always learning, always trying to see how can you improve? How can you get a little bit better? And reading books has been one of the best things that has just helped me gain a whole lot of knowledge. Now, maybe you're not into reading. You can obviously listen to podcasts, audiobooks or anything like that, but I would recommend every single day carving out some time to actually learn, so you can start to develop yourself just a little bit more from a knowledge standpoint. So then it can turn into you developing your skill sets, which then can in turn help you develop other people, which is the whole point of leadership, helping influence people in the direction they want to go in their life. Now, when I talk about this, I have been doing some type of learning daily since probably 2018. It is a very consistent thing that I have been doing. Now, when I say every single day, am I perfect? No, there's definitely days that I have missed, but when it comes to that, I've been fairly consistent when it comes to almost every single day. There's not many days that I've missed when it comes to reading 10 pages a day or journaling or anything like that. So take some time to learn on a daily basis. My biggest suggestion is take 15 minutes out of your day to always learn. Maybe it's read 10 pages. Maybe you listen to a podcast. Maybe you listen to an audiobook. Whatever it is, take time to learn. Intentional learning, and figure out, when I say learn, that means you are taking something in, and then you're also figuring out how can you apply it to your life and how will it help you move forward. And I did not always do this, because most of the time when if I think back to college, I was just memorizing so I could regurgitate and not really figure out, how could I apply this? How could I use this once I'm done with school? If I would have done that, I probably would have done much, much better in school. I didn't do bad, but I could have probably done a lot better. I think I came out with a 3.5 GPA now that I talk about it. I don't remember. So I could have done better, but neither here nor there. Take time to learn on a daily basis. Also, when it comes to that personal development side of things, I always recommend everybody journal. Journal, because it will help you develop your self-awareness, something that I really love to do. If there is a situation that maybe bothered me, well, I dive into that. I journal about it. I write it down. Also, I'll write down my goals on a daily basis. Something else that I do, if I'm journaling, I will also take time to write down, what am I grateful for? What are some wins? It just causes me to be more reflective. And what I have seen is, if you are reflective, then that will start to cause some more self-awareness, which then in turn can help you lead people just a little bit better. So if you're going to step into leadership and be an effective leader, first thing you have to do is lead yourself well. If you're going to lead yourself well, in my opinion, lock in your own fitness journey, be disciplined with it, because there's a lot of things it'll teach you. Second thing, personal develop yourself. Then the third thing that I'll say, and it's going to sound cliche, but I'm going to say it anyways, never quit. Never, ever, 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 ever quit. Because if I look back on the thing that has helped me improve the most, is just the consistency piece. And if you notice, I didn't say perfection, I said consistency. Because anytime I hear someone say perfection, that just tells me you're not a great person of action. Because typically when people bring up being a perfectionist, well then most of the time they didn't even take action on anything. So is it that you're a perfectionist, or are you just using that as an excuse to not actually take action? In my opinion, 9 times out of 10, people use it as an excuse not to take action. So, because if I look back at my life, I was never perfect at anything, but I forced myself into action, knowing that it wasn't going to be great. Because I can remember when I first started posting on social media, it wasn't great. It's still not perfect. I can always get better with it, but I work to take consistent action. If I look at backing up to when I was doing engineering and then working on building a coaching business, well, when I was building a coaching business, I really wasn't great with talking to people, but what did I do? I still took time to go and talk to people and build the skill set of communicating and talking with them. And am I perfect at it? No, there's still so much I can improve at it. But then also I worked at the skill set of educating people, helping them with their nutrition, their training, their supplementation, and communicating in a way so they could see the bigger picture of how the things would actually help them. And I wasn't perfect at it. The first couple of people I helped, I didn't do great, but I just went and took action. And that allowed me to slowly continue to grow over the course of time. Same thing with this podcast. Well, I just started it, and there's no perfect condition with it. And even now, honestly, the conditions aren't perfect, because even when I do recording or anything like that, I literally am in my living room, and I have a pretty cheap camera set up, and I have a makeshift light set up, and the lighting's not great. There's so many different things I could pick out with it. I could talk about how the quality sucks, how my speaking sucks. But the thing is, I just go. So that's why I say never quit, because being consistent is a skill set in of itself. And you can really take the consistency and use the word discipline, because if you're truly disciplined and you're working to develop that discipline muscle, you're not going to be disciplined every day. You're not going to be perfect every day. You're not going to wake up and do everything that you need to do. But if you continue to not let the imperfect days affect the perfect days, well, then you can start to grow a lot over the course of time. And then by default, you will accomplish more with your life, and you'll also build a lot more self-confidence. So that's why I always say, you just can't stop. You have to continuously try and try and try and try and figure out, how do you make it work? How can you make things move forward in the direction that you want them to go? Because if you do that, that is a great skill set for leadership. Because most of the time when you are leading yourself or leading a team, well, things aren't always going to be going well. And guess what? There's always going to be something to improve. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. You're always going to wake up every single day, and you're going to show up, and you're going to wonder, well, why is it that there's always something that needs to improve? Why is it that things always need to get just a little bit better? Well, that's just how it is. That's leadership. So the sooner you accept that, the sooner you get used to it, the better off that you're going to be. So if you're wanting to step into being an effective leader, or working towards being a great leader, and I'm working towards being a great leader myself still, well then, number one, you have to lead yourself well first. And then if you're going to lead yourself well first, my second point that I'm going to tack onto this, more of a tactical piece, is start to work on your own fitness journey. Then the third thing is personal develop yourself. Take some time to learn on a daily basis, journal. Then the fourth and final thing that I have is make sure you don't stop. Make sure that you keep going. Make sure that you do that, because if you do that, you get so much better over the course of time. Most of the people that I see that don't accomplish the things that they want in life, they just stop. They just stop. And look, I know there might be things in my life that I never achieve, but I'm going to work towards them relentlessly and work really freaking hard to make sure that I get as close to them as possible. So then when I get to the end of my life, I look back and I'm like, it was a great life. It was a great life. I gave everything that I had, and I'm happy. I'm really freaking happy. So let that be you. Lead yourself well. If you lead yourself well, you'll get to the end of your days and be able to look back and be like, it was a very fulfilling life. I'm happy with the impact that I made. I'm happy with the things that I have done. So I hope today was valuable for y'all. Please drop a comment. Like I said, like, subscribe. Plus, like when I say drop a comment, I always love hearing the comments or reading the comments, not hearing the comments, reading the comments. And I promise I'll always get back to all of them. So let me know your thoughts as far as maybe what has helped you become a great leader, or what is something you're doing right now that will help you step into leadership. And then if I can help y'all in any way, please reach out, let me know. But other than that, have a great day, have a great week, and God bless.